Standing on the top now. No, nothing can move you.
So let me go ahead and get into this right away. Welcome to another episode of the Bobby Brown Show. This is on the go. I'm on my way out, so I got the headphones on. Gotta get this off my chest. It's been bothering me a couple of days. The Janet Jackson thing is done. All right, I'm not gonna get on anybody else. It's taking too much time. Things have progressed. Janet Jackson is in the past. You see how people just get over stupid stuff? Man, at Janet Jackson, because you know, she was a little saucy about Kamala Harris, her father, in the term first black. Boy, that pissed Janet Jackson off. The first black? The woman ain't black. The woman Asian. What you talking about, first black? I mean, every black person ain't gonna be dumb enough to play that black card. You know, you never been black. First of all, even if you were black, you never been black in color. You never done anything insignificant for the black community, especially in California. If anything, you was antagonistic toward the black community. You have a long record of harming the black community and being shady and cunning and conniving with the black community. Even your way of going up the social ladder or the political ladder in San Francisco is funky and shady and conniving. So how do you expect us to just, those who know, and when they know, they say no? Simple and plain. Nothing you can do about it. Not you, Magic Johnson, not you, media pundits on the TV, Roland Martin and all of you, and definitely not you, Barack Obama, which brings me to this. Barack Obama, we're going to go through his speech soon. I'm just going to talk about the meeting he had with the Kamala Harris Waltz team, of black men, as if they're at fault for the thinking, for the mindset of the people who are not for her. So before we get started, let me go ahead and get this in the way. Fair use. Copyright disclaimer on Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purpose such as criticism. Yeah, I'm gonna be a bit critical here. Comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit educational and personal use tips the balance in favor of fair. I'm not getting paid for this stuff. I don't monetize these videos at all. I usually demonetize the majority of my videos. Strictly people funded. If you like the content, you know, you'll throw something in my PayPal, not Super Chat, PayPal. Okay, send a super chat. YouTube get about 75% of the money. I don't see any. Plenty of people, like my brother and a whole lot of people, have given money, and I've probably seen out of $100, I've probably seen like 10. So it's not fair. Super chat, no ye. Cash App or PayPal. The PayPal information is down below. But I understand we're going through some times, and the economy is not all that great, and we're in a recession at it. That's okay. I do work a job, but I believe you reap what you sow, and if you sow here, I believe you're gonna get a blessing. I believe I'm doing what's God's work. I'm trying to be fair, balanced, honest, critical, trying to teach, educate, even learn myself. So, which brings me to this: all opinions expressed by the program participant. Remember, we used to have this at the beginning of TV shows because we were really about free speech and free thinking, and now we're trying to lock people in and legislate people if they're not locked into the thinking of the government. That's not, and I see that more so on the left than the right, and that's not fair. That's not fair. And people say, "Oh, you just like the right." No, I'm just calling it as it is. I see more of this reining in free speech. They turn free speech. When it comes to free speech, you're going to have some people that's going to tell the truth. You're going to have some people that's going to lie. You're going to have some people in the middle, and it's up to you to determine what's true and what's not. It's not up to the federal government to tell you and force you to believe. And if not, and if you go out and say something else, we're going to try to criminalize you or chastise you for misinformation or disinformation. So we need to get back to this being on every show. All opinions expressed by the program participant are solely their current opinions, do not reflect the opinions of myself, Robert Brown, on the Bob TV network. So I have somebody on the channel, and if I platform somebody that's totally off the wall from what I believe, it doesn't mean I believe that. I believe in people should have their own opinions, and then you determine what not. But they're going to influence somebody, so can't do nothing about that. You're using your platform to influence people, so you can't do nothing about that. All you can do is let them have they say and try to debate or challenge them on them. You know, the program participants are solely their current opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Robert Brown or the Bob TV network. We do promote our First Amendment rights, no matter if I agree or not. The program participants' opinions are based upon information they consider reliable, not me. It is not the federal government, your responsibility to fact check on your own. Let's get into it. So Barack Obama. I remember one time, in the second election of Barack Obama, I was already not on board. I supported Jill Stein. We're going to get into some of the Jill Stein smearing. You know, I'm not just supporting Jill Stein this year either. But we're going to go on this. We're going to really, really go bodyguard hard. We're going to talk about this Democratic dumping on Jill Stein, because Jill Stein is their worst enemy, because her policies are better than theirs. And they're going to attract people who are independent thinkers, people who are not forced to choose between one of the two. And they think you should be forced to choose one of the two, and you should never be forced to choose anything. Either you're going to be in a good, healthy relationship with one, you're going to be in an antagonistic relationship. So, you know, consider it an insult. An insult to him and his legacy. It's always about him and his legacy, not you, and the legacy that he built on behalf of you. Negro, if you had you would have a legacy if you went all out for the people who put you in. And that's the whole problem with this mess. And that's why people are not all in on Kamala. Because fool me once, shame on me. I mean, shame on you. Fool me once, shame on me. I'm not going to give you the opportunity to waste 4 years of hoodwinking and bamboozling me, especially when I already know what you've done in the past. Now, the difference between Barack Obama and Kamala Harris is Barack Obama didn't have a criminal, prosecutor, political history. He was an organizer. He was a law review editor. He studied constitutionary law, community organizer. That record was nothing to smear on, because the people of Chicago knew he was out there organizing with the community. So to have the mindset of an organizer, because you want an organizer to run the country. You don't want no prosecutor. You want to organize. But this organizer looked like he's turned into a prosecutor, because he's prosecuting every black male in this one video. This one video will be responsible, not Donald Trump, not the blind being led by Master Trump or nothing like that. It's Barack Obama. Barack Obama has just killed Kamala Harris's political career, period. After this, she's done. After this, let's done. We're going to get into this. Let's get into it. So here, Barack Obama, ABC loves to strike people. So again, fair use, ABC, fair use. So it said Obama rips Trump, chides black men over excuse for not voting for Harris. Who in the hell are you? Negro, we really know who you are. First of all, you're the greatest tether of all time. Now, let me reiterate what a tether is. A tether isn't somebody, an immigrant from overseas or from the islands or something like that, as Luther Campbell he really believed this is what it really means. He's going to try to change the lexicon. We determine the lexicon. A tether is a person that is not from their original country, and it goes to another country and try to usurp the original people in that country, try to undermine the original people in that country, even be antagonistic against that original person in that country. That is what you call a tether. And oftentimes they come in and tether on to your achievement. See, I told a story with my coworkers about, the mother, her son wanted a Tonka toy, and she said, well, if you want this, Jimmy, you're going to have to wash them dishes for the next 90 days, clean up under that bed, make that bed, make sure you brush your teeth, blah, blah. You got to be on point for the next 90 days. Next 90 days, you'll get it. Now, mind you, the other two kids wanted one too, but Johnny was not playing. Johnny cleaned, worked his butt up, worked his behind off. And then when Christmas time came, when Johnny got that box, he opened it up, and it was a truck. And he's so happy and everything. But as he heard, thank you, ma, appreciate it from the other two brothers and sisters, as they opened up their package, it's the same doggone truck. And they didn't do nothing. They didn't wash a dish. They didn't do nothing. Johnny busted his butt to achieve this accomplishment of earning his truck. She gave it to him, but she gave it to everybody else. And a lot of people are coming to this country off the back of foundational black Americans' effort of bringing liberty and justice, fighting white supremacy, dealing with antagonists, people of other cultures who hate your guts and will kill you if they can. And I mean, not running, not fleeing, but fighting and staying and making a mark on this earth, on this country that cannot be erased. Then everybody else come in, and then the government just say, not only I'm going to give that to you, I'm going to give it to LGBTQ. I'm going to give it to the immigrants. I'm going to give it to people that's not even in this country, people who in other countries. I'm going to give them the same thing that you wanted. Matter of fact, I'm going to take their truck and give it to them. Imagine that. You're going to take my truck and give it to somebody who didn't earn it? Well, that's what this current administration has done by taking our tax dollars and giving it to immigrants who are coming in here illegally. They're illegal immigrants, which means they're not coming through the proper channel of becoming a citizen. So they're illegal, whether you like it or not. You don't like that term? deal with it. They're illegal. Tons of money going to them, but not you, the American people who probably want to get an apartment right now and need a little help on down payment or a car or something like that. It's going to Ukraine. It's going to Israel. It's going to so many different projects. But when it comes to you who fought and earned the right to get a return on your investment, because when you're a taxpayer, you're investing in this country, and you should expect to get a return on your investment every now and then. The people who are suffering right now from that hurricane are not getting a return. Now, let me get into it because my time is going by real quick, but you see where I'm coming from. Now, Barack Obama, when he ran, I was on the campaign. Man, I was excited about that 08 campaign. Oh, off the charts. We got a community organizer. I want more organizers to be in politics and bring that organizing mindset. I mean, from the ground up organizing mindset, not from the top down, not from the political space. I want that. So I saw that in Obama. Got a chance to see him when he was here, not here, but in the Tidewater area of Virginia. I worked out of the office, local campaign office. I put up signs in a hot, sweltering North Carolina, Virginia sun. Man, t-shirts was off the chain, flying off the handle. Man, every time I turn around. Black people bought into this, number one, because we have a chance. We have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and we took this literally as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Now, the problem is the person who was running didn't take it as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for black people. Here we got this half Kenyan, come from immigrant background, from his daddy's side, Kenyan side, and then this half-white Kansas mother here. Not a lick of foundational root to this country. Not a foundational black American. He's a black American through birth because of his daddy who didn't want to have nothing to do with him, kind of like Kamala Harris, who's from Kenya, who went to school, got a good education, and went to Harvard and things like that. I think he went to Harvard or Princeton, something like that. But he became one of those uppity Negroes. I got American education, and I'm from Africa, and I go wherever I want to go. Didn't spend much time with Barack, kind of like Kamala Harris. Then you got the white Kansan side of him that pretty much stayed with his grandmother and grandfather for a little bit in Kansas and was sheltered by them. But most of the time, Barack Obama never spent his time as one of us, living among us, until he got to Columbia University. Even then, at Columbia University here in New York, he didn't spend much time on the Harlem side of Manhattan. No, it was always on the west side, over there by the NYU students and things like that. He didn't go to the Bronx. He didn't go to Brownsville, Brooklyn. He ain't gonna go hang out with that. He wasn't that dude. And I can't say he changed. This has always been Barack Obama. So he figured, I got a higher education like my dad. I stand above all you Negroes. I can pretend to be you, Tether, but at that same time undermine you. Didn't do nothing for black people and chide black people, as they say in this interview. If we ask for something, if we demand something, look here. I'm not the president of black people, white people, black America, white America. I'm president of America. Negro black people made you president. Sure, you got some high numbers from the soccer moms and things like that, but it was the black men in the 90s. It was the women in the 90s that made you, but you didn't take your 8 years and make them. So you should be understanding on why Negroes ain't listening to you. You are not the Negro whisperer, dude. You have not done anything for us. So you have no right to even speak on our behalf. First of all, especially foundation, you don't have no roots to this country. You only can talk about the history of this country, but your family has no roots. Well, your family do have some roots. Your white side have roots to slavery. You're kind of like Kamala and her dad's side of the family. Irish bloodline. Yeah, Barack Obama has an Irish bloodline. Yeah, you got some African roots, African bloodline. Oh, you can't get no more African than Kenyan, and Kenya is a beautiful place, but it's that white Irish side. And all I see, and I say to myself, who's talking to us right now? That white Irish side, tethering as a black person, or that African side, tethering as a foundational black America? Barack Obama is not a foundational black American. Kamala Harris is not a foundational black American. Now, I'm just setting this thing up because we're going to go through this 5 minutes. Now, I got a lot of things I can go over concerning Barack Obama up here, and it's going to take a while.
We need you.
I'm going to go ahead and just speak some truths, if you don't mind.
Yes.
All right, so whenever somebody says, let me go ahead and tell you some truth. No, it's not a truth. It's just your opinion. It's always opinion until you find out whether it's true or not. When the Negroes say, I'm going to tell you the truth, include myself, go look at it. I invite you to go look at the truths that I've come up with. Go investigate on your own. Go take a look at it. I'm not going to give you no talking points from the media. I'm not going to give you no talking points from a political party because I loathe political parties. I think they're cults and they're just dragging people into cult. And you see it. I mean, if you ever go look at the definition of cult, you'll see exactly how black people on the Democratic side and on white and black on the Republican side are acting toward people who may not see things the way they see because they've been brainwashed by the cult. And they'll go out here and echo what this Negro about to echo because they've been brainwashed. They actually brainwashed you to think that the only way you can get black liberation is in the Democratic Party. And then you got people say you need to leave that plantation, to go to another plantation called the Republican Party, and I'm going to get my liberation there. No, I get my liberation from the outside these political parties, developing a voting bloc that's going to pull your demands. So you need us, we don't need you. See, we can build a nation on our own. All we need is the opportunity to do it. And we don't have to beg you for the resources to do it. We can do it among each other like we used to do. Let me let him talk. I'm sorry.
Because my understanding, based on reports I'm getting from campaigns and communities, is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running.
All right, so let's stop there. Negro, that was a week. Your energy dipped in 2012 because you took your 4 years, especially your 2 years. 2 years you had the majority. You had a Democratic stronghold. Democrats was in the House and the Senate. Democrats had it all. And the first bill that you passed, Negro, was not in favor of the black people who put you in office. You didn't give us a hate crime bill. You definitely wasn't going to push no reparations. We wasn't going to talk about that. That's a no-no because that means your family is involved in that because they were slave owners. They ain't going to push that. You're not going to push specific benefits for black people. You'll talk like it's for black people, but then you'll change over to minorities of black and brown and all that bull crap. 2008 was off the chain. Again, organizer, fresh off the speech at the Democratic National Convention that motivated us. Man, the dude was charming, a winner, smooth talker. It's not a white America. It's not a black America. It's America. It's not a red, blue, red, yellow, green. It's the United States. Yes, we can. That was him all day, every day. We fell for it. First 4 years. The first 2 years, Negro, you should have congratulated the black people at least, even though that Negro ain't do nothing for us either. Joe Biden said, look, black community, you always had my back. I'm going to have yours. Nigga lied. I'm going to always have yours. Liar. You lie. Like that Republican told you at that State of the Union. You lie. He lied. You wouldn't even get us. And you get in office, the first thing you do is push the Lilly Ledbetter policy to help women. Well, look. Oh, come on now, brother. I'm here that policy was to help all women, include black women. See, when you hear that, you got to put that rock eye up and say, oh, this Negro. You got to put the rock eyebrow up and say, oh, I smell what you cooking. You used us for votes. And the first person you're going to look out for is your mother. And I get it. I mean, my other mother was having some issues on something, and I'm going to look out for my mama. That's my mama, I'm look out for my mama. But my mama didn't put me in office alone, Barack Obama. It was brothers like this young man who mother put you in office that's predicated. He's a foundational black American, or his mother didn't come into the country within the past 48 years. A lot of black people have come to the United States, thank God, and legally, the right way, thank God, because of the immigration laws being changed. So, it was that brother and his parents that put you in the office, and you didn't think good enough to do something. And then a whole 4 years you didn't do nothing for us. And then your slogan was, look, we got work to do. We still got more work to do. Black people, you put me in, I'm going all out for you. The next 4 years, still got a lot of stuff to be done. Republicans are in my way, Mitch McConnell and all of them, they're blocking me. No, they're muling you. A lot of those policies that they were blocking you didn't want to happen. Look, I got this relationship with John Boehner, and and everything's all good. And I do whatever I can. You reached out. You did over and above to try to please these Republicans. And then you said yourself, look, my philosophy today would be a Reagan Democratic moderate Republican. You'll be considering me as that. And that's what you were. You were a moderate Republican under a Democratic name. You wasn't black first, and you wasn't Democrat first. You wasn't Democrat first. You was moderate Republican first. Democratic second first, and black never. I'm American. I'm American. And that's what I hate about the right. The right always talk about, look, stop talking about this black, white, it's all about America. Bro, you need to shut up. Yeah, we're Americans, but there's still a freaking imbalance here. And no, I'm not talking about victimhood. It is what it is. Now, I'm going to accomplish and overcome as much as I can, but these blocks don't need to be in the way, and you don't need to have them in the way. And if you put them in the way, move them, or I'm going to move them. Let me keep going. It's 2008, 2012. And look how he looked. Look, these numbers are not like where it was with me. It's because she ain't you, dude. Understand, she was not you coming into this thing. She's a former cop. We don't like cops. We love cops, don't get me wrong, but we got to rock eye up on cops when we see them because of their history, their legacy, ever since the 1800s. So, got a lot of race soldiers out there. They get in the police department just to act out their racism. She's not you. You came in with a fresh idea. She come in with a horrible past with luggage and everything. Folks who took time out to not listen to the Democratic Party tell us who she is, but to go find her on our own, they know. And when they know, they know. And that's why they saying no.
Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers.
What did you say, nigga?
And look, the ladies doing their thing. Well, a lot of ladies are not. They know. As y'all say, they woke. As y'all say, they woke. They can see now. They're not asleep. The term woke mean I'm not sleeping no more. And people talk about I'm against the woke movement, so you're for a sleep movement. You're not going to take this woke name and make it your own. See, they took it and make woke. Woke mean LGBTQ. No, that's not what it is. Woke mean black people understand what's going on. They see and they ain't going for it. They're not little wink bamboozle. We know. We're wide awake. Eyes wide open. We had some strong coffee. Let me keep going.
So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly.
All right, so the numbers ain't up with the brothers. And if you don't mind, come in the room. I need to talk to your son. This Negro's sonning us.
The fuck is his problem?
This Negro's sonning us. Who are you? Who are you to son us, Negro, when you have no plane to son us on? We put you in office. We made you. You took what we did and you became an opportunist yourself, made a bunch of money, wrote a bunch of books, went on a bunch of tours, went on a bunch of lectures, you went and bought a house in Mount Vineyard. But these people could still be living in the project. These people could be going through home foreclosures. These people are out here on the campaign trail knowing their jobs at stake. See, when I was running for I'm running for office. When I was volunteering for the Obama campaign, the Jill Stein campaign, and the Bernie Sanders campaign, I took time off my job. I worked less hours. I made hours of phone calls, especially Latino coaches when it came to Bernie Sanders here in New York City. I knocked on doors. I had to deal with dogs. I had to deal with bigots. I had to deal with, and I'm talking about bigots, not white. I'm talking about bigots from other cultures. I had to deal with, the fact that some Latinos, just not all, some just wasn't feeling me coming to their dog and knocking on their door. Talking about Bernie Sanders because they were strong Hillary support. You've done that, I guess, when you was in as an organizer, right, Barack Obama? I need to talk to the brothers because y'all Negroes, you're pathetic. You're making me sick. This is what he's basically saying. He's not going to say it like this because he's on camera. And, imagine the damage that's being done now, what it would have been if he would have just had that Obama angry interpreter from Key and Peele. He's basically saying, look at Negro, you niggas, K-N-E-E-Gas, you niggas, going into his Kenyan accent. Look here, you niggas. I need to talk to you. What is this thing you're doing here? Step it up.
And say that when you have a choice that is this clear.
All right. When you have a choice that is this clear. Their choice of this clear is Trump is anti-democracy. Trump is going to take us back to slavery. When they always say that with Republicans. Really going to take us back to slavery. Yeah, it's going to get worse and worse every year because you keep putting in more horrible candidates. Fascism, Trump is a fascist. He wants to be a dictator, all that bullcrap. I debunked all that stuff. He wants to start a purge and and he's trying to paint black people in general as people who eat chickens and stuff. Like, hey, I eat chicken. I don't eat no duck, but I eat fried chicken. You know, their job is to paint the Republicans as the most racist thing on the planet Earth, but the Democrats are not racist. Man, the Democrats got some of the biggest racists, white, black, and non-black in the party. And the moment you try to go to the other side, that racism will come out. I've showed you the video of the lady in Georgia. I showed you the video of the sister who spoke at one of Trump's campaign event and how she went on C-SPAN and they had the free phone calls, and most of those phone calls was racist, just calling her all kind of names, and so it's just horrible,
When on the one hand you have somebody who...
All right, so he said the choice is clear. He's going to go through the choices and how clear those choices are, all right? Because it ain't on she's a cop, she's a prosecutor. She prosecuted a lot of you for some of the stupidest things. Some of you, she prosecuted you because you were guilty by association, which means we did sweeps on 4 or 5 blocks and you're one of the people in the block and one of them had some drugs, so we ran all y'all in so she could fill up these private prisons that she had contracts with. Again, the prison debate isn't about state prison, it's the private prisons and overrunning other county jails in LA County and other counties in California, which were on her watch as DA and Attorney General. But they're going to hide that. They're going to give you talking points to get you away from researching that. They want you to just sit there and believe what they say instead of you believing, instead of you fact checking them. Who facts Democrats don't fact check Democrats. Republicans don't fact check Republicans. You know who fact check both of them? People like me. People who only like neither one of them. I only focus on the individuals in the party. Yeah, I've voted for some Democrat. I voted for some Republicans because I don't care about the party affiliate. Don't tell me who you with. Tell me who you are. Tell me what you did. Tell me what you plan on. Tell me what you have done so far. That's all I care about. The choice is clear. The choice is clearer than anything. I can honestly sit here and say that during the 4 years, thank God for COVID, maybe that helped black people, but for 4 years, Trump hasn't done anything to the black community that I know of. Let's be for real, that I know of. Not saying I'm, gold kicking for Trump, but this is honestly speaking. Joe Biden did the crime bill that affected the black community and decimated the black community and separated from fathers and took away a lot of fathers and got a lot of aunties, uncles, and everything on crack and stuff like that. That's Joe Biden. Where's that? Well, he wrote a letter shaming the Central Park Five, which in turn is supposed to be shaming all black people. Well, after over 10 years, I finally read that letter. Go read it. It wasn't just about the Central Park Five boys. It did affect the Central Park Five boys, and they held that letter until these boys confessed and sent that letter out on top of that just for more hoorah and limelight in the news and stuff like that. Once they got convicted, the letter came out, but the letter was supposed to come out before the confessions, and the whole thing basically said if this lady died from the heinous attack, and this ain't just for her, this is for every woman that gets attacked in New York City viciously. If she dies, whoever attacked her should die. It don't matter whether it's Central Park boys or not, they all should die. I don't care if it was the White Park boys, they should die. It don't matter. I challenge, go read it. I challenge you to go read Agenda 47 because they tell you there ain't nothing in there for you Negroes to keep you from going in there to really take a look at it, and you go look at it, then you see a whole different thing. I'm so, I keep letting these people tell me what to do, and I'm done with that. Like he's trying to tell these black men what to do.
Grew up like it, knows you.
So he says Kamala Harris grew up like us. Negro, if you don't stop lying, you didn't grow up like us. You trying to cosplay like you grew up like us. You didn't grow up like us. You didn't grow up like us at all. You grew up in White Kansas with your grandfather. That's not like me, with your grandmother and grandfather. Sheltered. While your mom go do whatever, get her education, go to different parts of the country. Then you got sent later to Hawaii. My family didn't grow up in Hawaii. And I guarantee you didn't grow up in the hood in Hawaii. Around other black people. And Kamala Harris didn't grow up in the hood. She was a child and she lived in Oakland, but I don't know what part of Oakland she lived in. But most of her time was in a middle class, pretty much Indian neighborhood in Canada. The school that she went to, the high school, was predominantly not multicultural at all. It's pretty much dominated majority white in Canada. When she went to college in Canada, there was no black college. Now, eventually, she wanted some more funding and wanted to keep more money in her pocket, so she decided to become an exchange student just like her mother. There's benefits in going from one country to another country to go to college, and that's what her mom did. So her mom schooled her, and you should do that. So she went from Canada to HBCU, which gave more benefits. That's where she first got her taste of sisterhood, because it wasn't in India with her grandfather. It wasn't in Canada where she spent most of her life at. And as a kid, she probably don't remember all that sisterhood like she think to. She talked about how she went to a concert, Bob Marley concert in Oakland and stuff like that, but she didn't do that. She didn't grow up in the freedom fighting movement with her parents. Honestly speaking, I don't even know if that's true or not, just because she said it. I haven't seen pictures with Donald Harrison with the black jacket on and the black shirt on and the afro and all. I haven't seen all that stuff. But anyway, let me get back on this. She didn't grow up like us, man. You know, you got somebody that knows you. She don't know me, man. Then again, maybe she knows me. And maybe that's why she was antagonist against us in California. Antagonist against black parents in California. Antagonists against black men in California. She knows you. She don't know us, Negro. Stop lying. And y'all people sit here and y'all listen to this Negro whisperer tell you these things and shake your head. Yeah, she know us. How so? Where's your proof and record? She never grew up around y'all. Excuse me, Lord.
Grew up like
She didn't grow up like us. She grew up in a middle class household. Father, economist. Doctor's degree. Mother, cancer researcher, doctor's degree. Both of them was being hired at universities. That ain't my story, dude.
knows you,
She don't know me.
went to college with you.
She didn't go to college with me. Number one, most black people don't go to college, and a lot of them don't go to a HBCU, okay? She went a few years in college. She went to a white college first and transferred over. Exchange program. Just because she went to college with me don't mean she know me. You know, she ain't say she went to elementary school with you. Look here, she went to elementary with she went to junior high, middle school. She, she was expelled just like you. She had to stay out the school like you. She ran the streets like you. She did the dozen. She knows you. She is you. Man, Negro, if you don't get out of here.
Understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences.
How the heck she understand the struggles and pains and joy from coming to those experiences when she never really experienced it, Barack? This man is sitting here telling you a bald-faced lie. Is that the white side of him lying or the Kenyan side lying? You know, Kenyan, not all of them, but some Kenyans got a history of scamming just like some Nigerians do, not all. Some beautiful Nigerian people, one of my friends, one of the most beautiful Nigerian women I ever met in my life. But some out there, just like Americans. We got a lot of scamming Americans around here, a lot of scamming black Americans. Which side is talking right now? Because Kamala Harris don't know me. She haven't had our experience. She haven't had our experience, folks. And y'all sit there and believe that our parents are both doctors working at wealthy schools, getting paid 6 figures. She moved around, Chicago, I think Massachusetts, Canada, D.C., back to California. Now, when she went back to California, that's when she got to experience us, and it wasn't on our side.
Just had to work harder and do more.
She had to work harder and do more. Dude, if you don't stop that line, the moment she got with Willie Brown, she had Willie Brown whipped to a certain extent. She was all up under Willie Brown. Willie Brown was so smitten, or she was so smitten by Willie Brown, one of the two, that Willie Brown gave her positions that she didn't earn. Some of them she did not qualify. Some of those positions you have to have experience working on the medical board of the state of California or within the local registry of San Francisco. To be on those boards, you had to have medical experience. She never had no medical experience, but somehow, some way, Willie hooked her up with all those jobs were given to her. There's no record of Kamala Harris actually working middle class job. Well, let me say not middle class. A job like it, McDonald's, Walmart, Winn-Dixie, Taco Bell. Oh, I worked at McDonald's. They said, I mean, we don't know if that's true. Just because she said we don't. McDonald's said we don't have no record on it. She's been given every job. She got to be the luckiest woman in the world, or whoever gets around her got to be the luckiest person in the world, especially the men. You got to be, the men who got around her got to be the luckiest men, that she was so wonderful that you gave her jobs that should have went to somebody that's qualified. She had 2 jobs working under Willie Brown. Most of them she didn't have to show up. She only have to show up like once in the blue moon, and she was getting paid almost 6 figures. Willie Brown taking money from out of his own pocket, buying her BMW and everything. When you're beautiful like she when you got that beauty like that, because she was a fine girl, and you know how to get men in the palm of your hands, because I'm quite sure she did. Now, she ain't doing it now, but back then I'm sure she did. Go look at her back in the day. She gets men in the palm of her hand. Men give her anything that they want, she want, and that's what she did. Earned. She had to work hard. Yeah, maybe so, but
and overcome and achieve.
now he know he lying. Overcome what? What is the Kamala Harris struggles, and what is the Kamala? What out of all these stories? You know, I was in the middle. I grew up as a middle class. In the middle class, I grew up in the middle class. And my beautiful Indian mom, and my auntie, my auntie. This dude know he lying. He just making stuff up.
Achieves the second highest office in the land.
She achieved the second highest office in the land because she got stumped when she ran for office. Biggest mistake. She ran too early. She ran for office too early. People tried to say, hey, she looks presidential the way she deal with these people sitting on a Senate committee. Look at her. She should run for office. That don't necessarily mean she runs. Just like Jasmine Crockett. She know how to handle these people. Slam them down, man. Make them. That don't mean she need to be president. Some people like that don't need to be president. Soon as she had her first debate, Tulsi Gabbard cut her head off. Exposed her for the crook that get caught. There's a lot of crooks that don't get caught. Why? Because a lot of the crooks are the ones that catch crooks.
And cares about things like education and entrepreneurship in our neighborhoods. And that.
Who don't? Even the orange man care about entrepreneurship and all that kind of stuff. He has proposals too. Do that mean I believe it? Do I believe it's going to happen? Do I believe he just talk? All you guys are just talk. You get in office, you never have a history of action. Now, the student loan debt, I'll give Obama that. I'll give the Harris Biden campaign credit for canceling some, not all, student loan, but it's still not doing much for majority of black people, because most black people don't have student loan, because most black people haven't been to college. We all understand that college isn't just the only way to succeed in America. Some people go to trade school. Some people start businesses based on the trade that they earn in trade school without colleges.
That's on one side. And on the other side, you have someone who has consistently shown disregard, not just for the communities, but for you as a person.
All right, so we're back with the Bobby Brown Show. I had to go to work, so try one full video. We're going to get right back into the one single act that I believe will cost Kamala Harris the election. It's not black voters. It's not black men. It's nobody's fault but Barack Obama for berating black men. This will cause black men to sit out. And when I say some sit out, don't mean that they're going to be some literally going to sit out. They just don't believe in the political process at all. They don't believe it works. And it's the Democrats and the Republican and our political leaders from on high, Capitol Hill, whatever, proving that point with rigged elections in the Democratic primaries, with, election tampering from the voting booths and from the machines and things like that. And from ballots missing, because I've been in a situation where ballots were missing in the campaign and we found it and recounted them. All of a sudden we found more envelopes to count. All of a sudden in Queens we find more envelopes to find that was hidden in the lockbox that we had to count that put one candidate over the other. There was a recount and we had to go back and recount everything. It's just a mess. So no, I don't care what you say. Once you start working on the inside and start dealing with poll watching, being in election terminals, recounting votes, being in the election campaign, dealing with the bylaws and things like that, you'll realize that, yeah, it is some funny fishing, rigging stuff going on. You're going into the vote on somebody through these machines, and all of a sudden you put it in and it don't go through. You put it in the second time, it don't go through, and then somebody finally come help you and it goes through. Or you put it in the third time and it goes through. You don't know if that thing really went through or not. You just got acknowledgement that it went through, but it doesn't mean the other ones didn't go through because you didn't get the acknowledgement. So the system can't be trusted, and the system need to be revamped. And I personally think we should go to same day registration and voting. I think the day should be a holiday where people don't have to worry about getting there late when the lines are all long. They have a whole day to go vote. It should be a holiday. Election day should be a holiday, paid holiday. I think that should happen. And we need to go back to paper ballots because it's easy to recount and it's easy to register. And yeah, I do believe in ID. When I say voter ID is not a special ID that you go get from the city. No, a voter ID is your state ID. In New York, a blue liberal, one of the bluest liberal states in the country, we do voter ID. You have to have an ID to vote. You have to, I don't care. I mean, even the immigrants, illegal immigrants, or I don't know, they go down to the library and get what they call the NYC ID, but you got to have an ID with an address attached to it. And you got to be registered with the address in the polling place where you're supposed to go vote, in the district you vote. So anyway, we're going to get off that. I want to get back on Barack Obama sunning black men. Sunning black men. I'm reminded of what Cameron and Mace had to say when Prince Paul started sunning them. And Mace said this, and that's what every black man is saying. Even those who reverence Obama, even those who have respect for Obama, even those who are going to listen to Obama and go ahead and do it, I'm quite sure they're not simple enough, punk enough to say, yes, master, or yes, daddy. You right, daddy. No, son, you can't talk to us like that. First, you don't come from the soils of this country. Foundational black Americans built this country. You did not build it. So who the hell are you to tell me what I should do? But let's get right back into it. I don't want to get too far into it. But the cojones, the balls, the guts, the testicle, did I say that right? Testicle fortitude that you got to talk to people like they're your children and like you're the president of black people and the god of black people. Negro, you ain't Malcolm X. And I would never put you on the level of Malcolm X. You're not Martin Luther King. Come on, man. You're not even Stokely Carmichael. You're not on the level of a Fred Hampton. No, you're not. You're not on a Medgar Evers level. You're not on the Farrakhan level. And I'm a Christian, but I got respect for Farrakhan and his hard fight and protection for black. He rock out for black people. You're not that dude, man. So stop. Let's get into it. So we stopped it here, 228, ABC News, fair use. ABC, this is coming from the YouTube website. We're going to get back into the conversation that Barack Obama is having with black men. Look. She went to school with you? She grew up with you? No, she didn't. And if she look, man, we were some mannish little boys back then, boy. She would have been able to go. Nah, because she was a little cutie back then. Let's get into it.
Education and entrepreneurship in our neighborhoods. And that's on one side. And on the other side, you have someone who has consistently shown disregard, not just for the communities, but for you as a person.
All right, so we're going to stop there. He said, you're going to discount this lady who grew up with you. She is you. She's black all day when she been Irish all her life. When she been Indian all her life. When she ran as Indian, first Indian. Come on, bro. She is you? No, she ain't. She don't. I like fatback and my collard greens cooked in a pot and washed in a pot. Not a bathtub. I like chicken. She like dolly food. Or doll food. She like doll. I like soul food. She ain't. So we're going to park here for a second. Because Barack Obama said, look here. On the other ticket, there's somebody who denigrates, put down, you. And not just you, but other community. Well, Negro, you ain't never put us down. Joe Biden, when you and Joe Biden was together, y'all ain't never denigrated us. And when Joe Biden ran for office, he never denigrated us. Man, stick your chest back. Stick that bird chest back in. Nobody gonna say, I'm not saying Trump loved black people and he got a heart for black people. I don't know that man. I know what he did in the past. He did before he ran against you. Before he started doubting that you were really American because of your name. And you do got to understand that, hey, folks were prejudiced. Even black people was prejudiced back then because of people's name. Your name what? Hussein. Barack Hussein. Man, we just had a war, and that war was against Saddam Hussein. And you, Barack Hussein, I don't even know. I mean, I don't know. People mindsets was like that. People thought that way because of the fear factor of Al-Qaeda coming to America and Al-Qaeda coming to our government, because Al-Qaeda was going to other countries and going to other governments and denigrating and killing and chopping off people's heads and everything like that. So when you hear a name like Barack Hussein Obama, and you don't know who this guy is, you can tend to be a little racist. You can tend to be a little prejudiced. I admit Trump was a little prejudiced, a little racist. First of all, because a black man won the election. When it's his fault, because he should have ran a long time ago. He always talking trash, and he never ran. But until Barack Obama put his mouth on him and made him look embarrassed at that doggone press conference, White House press dinner, Trump wasn't thinking about running. But it was that actor showing the birth certificate and joking them that made them. Now, yeah, Trump says some horrible things, but I do not want nobody to sit there and think that they can sit there and scald black people as if the Democrats and you yourself, sir, have never demonstrated. Because this whole thing is about you and your legacy. See, you're supposed to be the kingmaker, the real leader of the Democratic Party. Not Joe, not my dog Bo, but me and Michelle. We took over for the Clintons. Clintons are under us now. We're in charge. And if Trump wins, after all you've done to Trump, it's going to mess up your legacy. I remember Joe Biden denigrating us, talking about finances and the financial collapse that happened right before Obama. And he said this.
He's going to let the big banks once again write their own rule. Unchain Wall Street. They're going to put you all back in chains.
Now, going to put us back in chains. Liberals and Republicans and white supremacists, period. They love to toy with that. They're going to put y'all back in chains. They will spin the narrative to make you think that every Republican, if they get power, they're going to put you back in chains. I used to think that about Bush, too. I mean, Bush 1. They said that about Bush 1. You don't vote for Clinton, they're going to put you back in chains. Well, Bush 1 didn't put us in chains when he had the first term. You give him 4 more years, he's going to put y'all back in chains. So we got rid of Bush 1 and we put Bill Clinton. And that Negro put black people in chains more than anybody with that crime bill. Him and Joe Biden. Going to put you back in chains. It's called the private prison system. It's called find any and everything we can, any kind of thing we can tie to you where we can lock you up so we can get some of this free labor for these private prisons who got contracts with these major companies, which Kamala Harris have admitted that she had contracts with as Attorney General. And her job was to fill up those prisons and fill up so they can have the labor they need to get their goods made for little to nothing. Put y'all back in chain. They're going to put y'all back in chain. But wait, I remember Barack Obama at the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation. I think it was an award ceremony. And he was winding down his second term in office. And he's out there trying to fight for Hillary Clinton to win the nomination against Donald Trump. Now, look, not for nothing, Hillary Clinton is no Kamala Harris. Hillary Clinton was on a higher level. I hate to say this. Oh, my God. I hate to say it. Smarter than Kamala Harris, more decisive, more collective, more strategic, and more visceral. See, she took her time out and said, hey, if you're not going to get me the VP spot, now look, people always make that dumb, asinine things. You don't know civics. The VP position is really nothing, That's the biggest lie in the world. I'm going to go over that in a video soon, the power of the vice president, because all of that is a bunch of hogwash, and you don't know civics. Anybody who say that don't know civics. And I'm not a civics major, but I know that the vice president hold a huge amount of power. Sometimes she make more decisions. She's the decision. Sometimes she can be the decision makers before the president. She can do a whole lot by the president's director. Number one, she is the top advisor for the president. Her job is to advise him in which way he should go. So all the decisions that the president is supposed to be made on the vice president. And that vice president is usually somebody seasoned in politics or seasoned in a particular direction that you need to go, that you want to go in your vision. They're there to help assist that because they have experience in that pathway toward the vision that you want for America. So you can't discount that. And the fact that they're the president of the Senate, which means they're the top dogs. And when it comes to whipping up people for votes, putting people in positions to vote or to block a vote, to come up with bills, to help come up with bills, the final decision on voting for bills if it's a tie, that's the vice president. Don't sit there and believe that crap. Anyway, Hillary Clinton did decide to, even with my Secretary of State, I'm only going to do a few years. The second term, I'm not going to be in Barack Obama's. I'm going to start preparing, getting ready for me to run for office. But those years, first term, I'm going to go out and I'm going to be as diplomatic. My face is going to be everywhere. I'm going to be the chief person to make these relationships with these chief leaders, linking them to Obama. I'm going to be the one as Secretary of State to deal with the Gaddafis and stuff like that. She did that as Secretary of State. Vice President's job is more powerful than Secretary of State. Secretary of State is just a central job. Vice President is a all-inclusive job. They can go anywhere. They can go in the Department. They can go into Secretary of Treasury. They can go have influence in all those areas. So Hillary Clinton, not for nothing, put herself in a position to become president. She looked presidential. She talked presidential. I couldn't stand her guts as a politician, and I knew she was a phony, and I believe she was a crook, just like the rest of these fools in Capitol Hill. Let me tell you something. Honest politicians are a dime a dozen. One out of 100. Now, this is what Barack Obama said, denigrating black people, because a lot of black people was not feeling Hillary Clinton. First of all, a lot of black people are independents. They're not part of any political party. And it's your job to give them a reason to vote for your candidate, not to beat them, not to verbally assault them, not to call them names, not to call them, anti-democracy, and you guys only show up when it's time to vote for the president and all that kind of stuff. And, you third partiers, you're going to cause us Trump and all that. You don't do that. Hillary Clinton called Trump supporters degenerates or deplorables, when a lot of those voters weren't original Trump supporters. They were original Bernie Sanders supporters, but they find out how you rigged the election against Bernie Sanders, and they said, hey, we can't support nobody like you. You're dishonest. You talk about the other guy dishonest, and he may be, but you are blatantly dishonest. You disregard our decision for the party. And here's Barack Obama talking about what will happen, talking the same talk that he's talking right here. Listen.
If I hear anybody saying their vote does not matter, that it doesn't matter who we elect, read up on your history. It matters.
What you gonna do if you hear him? You hear him, and you know you hear him, but what you gonna do? It matters. Read up on your history. It matters. It does matter. Us voting does matter. It matters for your power. It matters for your ego. It matters for your stance in the world, and it matters for your party stance in the world. And that's on the red and the blue. That's why I honestly believe what you said. It's not a red America or blue America. It's the United States of America, because both of you guys are in cahoots. It matters to you. You need that vote. You need that vote to put you in a political power position. That's all our votes are. Because if you get the vote, what does it matter to us? What does it matter to you when it comes to us if we give you the vote? Not a doggone thing, man. Not a doggone thing, man. It doesn't mean anything. You get in your position and you forget about it. I remember Joe Biden saying after he was elected, black people, the black community, I hear you. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be in this position. Then how come you down talk us like this after you get elected? All right, let me stop there. This country is doomed. This country is doomed, not just because of black Americans. So he sit there and insult us, him and Kamala Harris, you see him in the middle, it's kind of fuzzy, sit there in that Zoom call and denigrate the whole entire black community. You called us destroyers of the United States of America. You're white supremacist bigot fool. And you got the nerves to point the finger at Donald Trump. You need to point the finger at you. Let me play that. Let me play that again, because folks act like you don't want to hear it. Act like it's going through the other ear. And now, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. Well, you're going to hear it again today.
This country.
I'm doing this on purpose. One more time. Now, you talking about denigrating. This man said the country is being destroyed not just because of black Americans, because white Americans are dying out. White Americans from European are dying out. And because we're dying out, this country is doomed, because you guys are going to probably take control, because you don't know how to control the country. You're doomed. White Europeans are going to be the minority, and you guys are going to be the majority. Well, black people should have been the majority in the first place if you didn't slaughter us for hundreds of years, if you didn't do mass genocide, if you didn't do experiments on us that sterilized us through various drugs that we take thinking they're safe for us and may do one thing for us, but at the same time it's killing our ability to reproduce. And then with the abortion topic, which you now call reproductive rights, is really still abortion, gonna always be abortion. I'll go even further than that. You mean the baby deletion, deletion of the next generation? That alone, that philosophy that black people bought into thanks to preachers allowing to be preached in the churches, working with these bigot white supremacists like Margaret Sanger, Hillary Clinton friend, her hero, we would have been in the majority. We would have been in a position to be able to take over and lead this country, because we were producing like wildfire, and it's white supremacy fault, because you breeded us like cattle. You didn't want to go buy no new slaves, so you figure, hey, I got five males, they buck broken, and they do whatever I tell them to say, and I got these hosts of women, and we're gonna have the strongest slave have sex with all of them, even his family member, because I need more slaves to be born and raised. So they're going to put y'all back in chains. I consider it an insult. This country is doomed because not just because of black Americans. In other words, Yeah, it's doomed. Y'all at fault for the dooming of this country. Good Lord, we can't let y'all run it. Sad to say, white America is dying out. But you notice he didn't say Caucasians, period, or white people, period, because there's other races that consider themselves Caucasians, and they are. You got the white Hispanics. You got Indians who think they're white. They claim to be Caucasian. You got Spanish that claims to be Caucasian. You know, here's Barack Obama making it all about him. Look here, if you don't go out, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. If you don't get your jigaboo behind out there and vote, boy, that white side came out of you real quick, Barack Obama. If you don't get your blackity black out there and vote matters, vote matters. It does. I agree. Voting does matter. That's why we vote. We vote because we expect you to do what we tell you to do. We're your constituents. We're the one we sent you off. You work for us. It's not that we work for you. You better get out there. You better get to getting. Get out there and go now. We need you. Gotta have you.
We've got to get people to vote.
Vote, vote, vote. You tired Negroes,
In fact,
get out there.
If you want to give Michelle and me a good send-off, and that was a beautiful video, but don't just walk off into the sunset now. Get people registered to vote. If you care about our legacy, realize everything we stand for is at stake.
If you care about our legacy, and I get it, you know, there's some good and bad in Obama. Some things he did good. There's some horrible things that Obama did, but people don't want to dwell on that. They don't talk about that. They don't put it in the news. Like the Fast and the Furious, horrible. The drone strike program, horrible. You know, different genocides across the world, horrible. I can go on and on with some of the horrible things the Obama administration has done. Now, scandals with other wives and sex and all that, no, we ain't got that. It was Black Camelot. It was beautiful, but we got hoodwinked behind all that. These people are just like any other politician, arrogant, and it's about them and their legacy, not about you. The legacy of Obama should have been the greatness he provided for black people, not in imagery, not in symbolism, but in tangible. That's right, I made it. I'm the first person, I'm the first black man to go to a prison. Okay, what does that do for the rest of the people in the country? Black people on the grassroots. What does it do? Came up with Obamacare. Yep, you had that penalty payment, that mandate payment. You mandated it and said if somebody don't participate in it, you're going to penalize them. That's not democracy. Trump came in and got rid of that. He didn't get rid of Obamacare and like everybody thought he was going to do, or he going to throw the whole thing away. He didn't. He did get rid of the mandate payment. He did say, no, we're not going to mandate. And me, I honestly believe you should have took on Bernie Sanders' policies and did the Medicare for all. After all, he was one of the first ones to get out there and campaign for you when everybody else wanted Hillary at first. I consider it an insult.
All the progress we've made is at stake in this election.
See, they'll make you think that the progress that us going forward on some things, they automatically tell you vote, keep us in, or Republicans going to roll it back. That's not necessarily true. A lot of Republicans voted on these things, so they're not going to try to roll it back. Obamacare ain't going nowhere. Hopefully somebody come up with something better. Hopefully we can finally get Medicare care for all. That is 100 times better than Obamacare. Obamacare, everybody talking about Project 2025. It's a Heritage Foundation philosophy. Heritage Foundation is evil, but it was Heritage Foundation giving the affordable health care plan to Mitt Romney, and Mitt Romney implemented that in Massachusetts, and Obama took it and implemented nationally. He would tell you that. Obama took a policy from the Heritage Foundation. Bill Clinton took a policy from the Heritage Foundation and implement it. So all these presidents, they'll take a policy or two out of the Heritage Foundation. And it could be a horrible, but there could be a couple of good things in there. And they probably would implement one or the two of the good things. Obama didn't come up with Obamacare. It was Romney Care. It was in Massachusetts. He decided to take it and make it go national. So Obama is a biter. It's not really called Obamacare. It's really Romney Care going national. But here he is. Let him keep going.
My name may not be on the ballot, but our progress is on the ballot. Tolerance is on the ballot. Democracy is on the ballot. Justice is on the ballot.
Every year these things are on the ballot. They're going to always be on the ballot because you vote for that. The problem is those who claim that they're the purveyors of it oftentimes are the most hypocritical when it comes to it.
Good schools are on the ballot.
Good schools on it. Good schools that want to promote, good schools that want trans to read to your kids. Good schools that trying to put sex in the children's book. Good schools.
Send off, and that was a beautiful video. But don't aid is at stake in this election. My name may not be on the ballot, but our progress is on the ballot. Tolerance Tolerance is on the ballot. Democracy is on the ballot. Justice is on the ballot. Good schools are on the ballot. Ending mass incarceration, that's on the ballot right now. There is one candidate who will advance those things.
Hillary Clinton would not advance a doggone thing you did. You and Hillary Clinton used to get in fights over policies because she thought our policies were better than yours. She would not advance your policies. She would start her own. Get out of here, dude.
And there is another candidate defining candidate.
Here we go. Here we go.
Principle advance those.
Same thing he's saying about Kamala Harris. Same thing he's saying about Donald Trump. This was done 7 years ago. He got the same old song.
Those things. And there is another candidate whose defining principle, the central theme of his candidate, is opposition to all. There's no such thing as a vote that doesn't matter. It all matters. And after we have achieved historic turnout in 2008 and 2012, especially in the African American community, I will consider it a personal insult. An insult to my legacy if this community lets down its guard and fails to activate itself in this election. You want to give me a good send-off? Candidate.
See, it's all about him. You want to get me? I can't have this about this. We're not going to do this. This is, my legacy. You want to give me? You want to give Michelle a good send-off? You want to do something good for us? You want to make us look proud? Goddamn, vote for Hillary Clinton. All about me. And I would say we wouldn't have this conversation, Obama, about who to vote for if you would have went all out for us and you admonished Hillary Clinton to do the same. The ability to get the next person over depends on the person who sits in the seat right now. You doing all this calling and talking and saying you consider it an insult. Like what if I don't want to vote for Hillary Clinton, it's an insult to you? Who are you? You think I care about whether I insult you or not? You think I'm gonna feel bad? I didn't feel bad when you totally disregard my community the first 4 years, the second 4 years. You claim you was going to do something after with your Obama Foundation. You ain't do nothing. Nothing. You want to scold black people because they're not going to go the direction that you want them to go. So you want to son them. You want to Stephen of the Django them, run the plantation. You want to go full Cotton Mr. Candy? Really? I consider it a personal insult. Everything I work so hard for is on the ballot. If you get him in the way, he going to strip them all. Maybe if you wasn't so condescending on that dude, let him be the ignorant, stupid person that he can be sometime. Ignore him and not play into his tricks. And you just focus on doing for the people, especially the people who put you in the office. If you focused on that and gave tangibles behind that, come up with policies behind that, then we wouldn't be having this discussion. Hillary Clinton would have beat him by a landslide. But give me a second, I got to take. I'm back. If you would have went all out for black people, you wouldn't have to whip them into shape. You wouldn't have to whip them like you do cattle coming off the truck and getting them into the gate onto the field. You wouldn't have to whip them. You figure you got to whip us with your words to get us to get in line, fall in line, and look. Get yourself together. Come on, you and Pookie. What is wrong with you guys? Are you crazy? You lost your mind? I consider it an insult if you don't do what I tell you to do. Now look here, you Negroes. First of all, bro, you from Africa. Your dad is from Africa and your mama is Kansas. The nerves of you to talk to people who've been here since our lineage been here since we founded this country. You didn't found this country. Yet we trusted you. We voted for you because you thought you understood our plight. The greatest tether of all time got the nerve to skull majority of foundational black America. Now don't get me wrong. It's a lot of immigrants that don't rock with the Democratic Party because they about business and traditional families and stuff like that, which the Democratic Party has turned their back on. They promote the alternative family. They ain't the traditional family. Look here, we don't celebrate Christmas. This is not a Christian nation no more. Just because we got Muslims and various religions in here, don't mean this is not a Christian nation. Say in God we trust, not in gods we trust. Look at the look on his face. Boy, that says it all. He is pissed. Now this was not 7 years ago, and he was pissed. That did not work for him. That right there. See, we remember that. We remember. Did this Negro just tell us that it's all about him and his legacy? This Negro ain't done nothing for us, and he's gonna scold us because we not feeling her? If this Negro didn't do nothing, he's half black, half white. If he ain't do nothing for black people, what make you think this white lady who scalded us also called us super predators, down talked us, trash talked us, talked to the dude from BLM, the original Black Lives Matter, and told him, well, you need to run for office then. If you don't like it, then you need to run for office. Everybody don't need to run for office. We voice a complaint to the people who we put in office, and we expect you to address the complaint and deal with it. You don't tell us to run for office. You get to get working. You get to working for us. We put you in that position to work for us. Who the hell are you to tell us that we should run? You ran. You the one we chose to do it. And you think we gonna believe her talking like that, down talking Black Lives Matters? The original Black Lives Matter, not this co-op thing that we had. You think we gonna trust her to you actually believe this woman is more arrogant and selfish than you. She was not gonna advance your legacy, and it should be an insult to you to believe that she will. But the nerves of you to talk to us like we're your little children because you feel like we're not going in direction. Look, the numbers are not up. You know, I looked at the polls and I looked at the demographics and from different various regions of our campaign, and things don't look too good. And you guys got to step up. I don't know what's going on. I mean, you haven't reached Pookie and Ray Ray. Pookie and Ray Ray say they're gonna sit this one out. I refuse to believe. I don't want to hear it. They need to get out. Well, first of all, you can't make nobody vote for you, dude. The best way to get somebody to vote for you, or the best way to get somebody to vote for a candidate you support, is tell that candidate they need to support those people who vote for them. I mean, you need to already have done something, not say I'm going to do something, especially when you've been in power for 4 years. Second in command. Stop discounting that. Second in freaking command. You want to give me a good send-off? Get all them Negroes on the street up there, put them in the truck to go vote. You can't control people, man. And if you don't do it, don't get it done, something wrong with you. You sound like the general manager at a car dealership. He expect you to have a number of sales in that box before the week over with. But it's a recession and Negroes ain't buying cars. So soon as one person come to the lot, 20 of y'all people going to that one person. Now you done scared them off the doggone lot. How you gonna make money like that? And that's what you're doing. You're trying to encourage black people to get out there and beat up on other black people to support your candidate, and that's gonna run them off the block. And you the main person, the general manager, going out there with the salesman, going out there and all y'all trying to talk to this one person. Man, I'm out of here, man. I was gonna get a car, but I keep this junker I got right here. I'll fix it myself. Look here, where you going? Come back. I know what you're doing. You going over there to Barclay Lexus. I know it. I knew you support Barclay Lexus. No, I'm going home, Negro. I'm not getting the car. And that's just how y'all say, well, if you're not voting for us, you're voting for Trump. No. I don't like neither one of y'all. I'm going home. I'm not giving you no power. I'm not giving him no power. Well, if you don't vote for my candidate, you vote for Trump. Nah, that's impossible. In order for him to win, he got to have a number in the box. Well, if we have your number, we'll make sure he don't win. I don't want you winning. I don't want him winning. So what I look like helping you to beat him, I don't want you in power either. Well, somebody got to be in power, but it ain't got to be none of y'all. That's why we got multiple candidates running, and that's why I don't buy that, third parties just waste time, blah, 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 blah. That if you keep believing that, it's going to continue to be that way. This country needs to have multiple parties, and we need to start fueling those people. Whoever really has your vision in mind for this country, that's who you vote for, whether they got a chance or not. Don't let these people con you into the two-way system. You'll never break it. You keep fueling the crookedness in both of these parties. You keep enabling them. I know I'm talking long, but this is a serious matter. You got to stop letting these people down talk you. See, when they come to town, I go after them. They ain't going to talk to me like that. I'm going to talk to them because I got to go to the voting booth and vote for them. If they want my vote, we going to have a talk. I'm talking to you. And if you come with some BS, then I got to talk to you about the BS you get. That's how I had to do AOC. Oh, we need to get reparations to the indigenous people and stuff. Man, stop that. They got reparations. Stop that. Stop blowing out black people. Stop blowing out black foundation of black Americans, people who've been here and helped build this country. We were here before the settlers. A lot of us are Native Americans that got reeled into slavery because of our color. Stop discounting us. When we come talk to you about black issues, stop talking about all lives matter. Stick on the black issue. Stop blowing us off. Well, we need to do this. Not just for black people, but we got to do this for gays, straight, and we got to do that. Stop. That's an insult. You talking about an insult? I'm not talking about them right now. I'm talking about us. Bringing that crap up, man. You know, we're trying to do this I'm not a minority. Stop putting me in the minority. I'm the majority that you turned into a minority because you can't stand black people advancing and taking over. So you got to come up with different ways to try to eradicate us. So no. Hey, bro, let me keep going.
It's opposition to all the...
You got to support us because those other guys are opposition to all we done. Yep, and you opposition to all the things they did. Why don't y'all stop being ops and meet in the middle and get some freaking stuff done? These, the stream like Trump with this comrade Kamala, and the crazy right, the crazy left, the lunatic left, and then you got the same thing on the left. These lunatic Trump Coke group, MAGA and all that. Stop that stuff. These are people. These are people who want more for their country. Stop labeling voters. Stop calling voters names. How are you going to get somebody on your side by insulting them, by sunning them, a tongue lashing? You will never get somebody over to your side. You can have the greatest plan and greatest policy. You gotta share that with care. You frustrated because the numbers are horrible. I told you from the jump start. When you run against Donald Trump, you gotta find somebody that's gonna that can really defeat him, that have a track record of doing great for the people. You can't just throw anything out there. You can't throw somebody with a horrible record. Guys, when you get a chance, go back. I did a series back in 2010, I think, called Dumb DNC Mistakes. Don't make these mistakes again. This is the reason why you lost. Don't blame black people. No, this is why you lost. I think I had about 5 things. I had 5 different videos. One of them is stop mocking your opponent and his supporters. Take them serious. Stop calling them names. Stop denigrating them, because you still got a lot of independents there, and they're going to see that. And they're like, I can't deal with nobody else. Every time I turn around, you talk about Trump. But Trump. No, but you. Look at your stuff. Kamala Harris got some policies on there, and decent policies, and down in the bottom in big bold red, she talking about Project 2025, and that's not even the Trump policy. Trump policy is Agenda 47. She didn't put Agenda 47 down there. She put Project 2025. Ain't got nothing to do with Trump. And when you put something like a lie at the bottom, it discounts everything that you're saying in your policies. You telling me all these policies you want to do, but you're going to talk about your opponent and how he's going to do this and this and that. And you have no proof. You have no proof he did it the last 4 years when he was in office. And you know you can't prove it right now. You got something that you heard, some think tank, and you're going to tag that to them, because that's what you do. You got to make your opponent look like they're crazy nuts so to draw votes away from them. And when you feel like you can't do it, then you're going to start acting like this. Trump, all he had on his website is all his policies. He don't say what a radical left is planning on doing this and planning on doing that. Not on his website. Now, he could talk about Kamala Harris' record. I don't like him talking about this communist Kamala Harris. That lady is not a communist. She's a capitalist to the core. She's always sided with the financial sector. She's always sided with the housing sector. She always have. She ran on Kamala for the people, but she was Kamala for the corporation, and she was Kamala for Hollywood. Stop calling her comrade. See, that's that talk that turned people off. Stop labeling people these names. Donald Trump. Look at this. Look at this face, man. I'm taking my time for a reason. Look at that face. He's pissed because the internal polls for Hillary Clinton did not look like nothing that the national polls looked like. And the polls that they were spitting to the public were Democratic-leaning polls. Mammoth poll, CNN poll, PBS poll, AP poll. Those are Democratic-leaning polls. Ipsos, those are Democratic-leaning polls. So they're going to favor her. That's why when you get a chance, you go to Real Clear Politics and you see the various polls and what they're saying. There's so many freaking polls. And let me tell you something. I used to work at a data aggregating firm dealing with polls, kind of like Ipsos. Ipsos, I'm real familiar with Ipsos. You get a list of people that you call. You call them by demographic. You can call them by the color. You can call them by the age. You can call them by the occupation. You can call them by the education. And you ask them, what do they think? Who do you support when it comes to these things, various things? You know, it's not usually the overall. Who do you support when it comes to the economy? Who do you support when it comes to building up the military, making the country safe, making the work, stuff like that? If they're Democratic leaning, you're only gonna poll 10 people, and those 10 people supposed to represent millions of people. You're not calling a whole bunch of people. You're calling 10 people. Mammoth poll is a poll at a university, Maymouth University over there in Westchester, I believe. That's Westchester County, New York. They only gonna call a few people, maybe 3 blacks, 2 Hispanic, 5 whites. That's it. And you're gonna ask them those questions. You're gonna jot it down. You're gonna take it in. You're gonna aggregate those numbers. Now you got the polling. 45% saying Kamala Harris and 35% Trump, blah, blah, blah. That's how it goes. They're not calling a bunch of people, and they're very selective on calling. The whole time I worked in a data aggregating firm, we never called no brothers from the hoods. But yet this man want to come up here and down talk brothers as if they're the reason why those numbers are like that. I ain't never talked to no brother from the street. And honestly speaking, the best way to know the pulse of the country is getting down there with your microphone and talking to the people in the streets. Well, Brown, we need you to take this list. We got we need you to call 10 black grandmothers in the Southern Baptist Church, and then you're going to call some from the Episcopalian Church, then you're going to call some from the Roman Catholic Church, and we're going to see religiously who stands where with who. Yeah, but these all 65 years old, man. You ain't got no younger ones I can talk to. No, these are demographics that you're going to call, and you'll find out all of them going to be for Hillary Clinton, because they knew Hillary Clinton from the beginning and stand by her man, dealing with Bill Clinton bullcrap, womanizing, her she inspiring to be president in her store and stuff like that. So they fall in love. So 65-year-old, of course, they're gonna be in favor of Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama. Oh, you know that nice looking man with the big ears? Yo, yeah, I love him. Oh, got a picture of him on the wall right now. I'm looking at him right now. God bless Obama. So you know that poll gonna go. But this dude sitting up here talking to black people, black men, like it's our fault that she might lose. Well, it may be our fault. If you're gonna totally depend on us for winning, then you need to start depending on us. Then we got to start asking for something in return. We're tired of the denying neglect. You know the power that we have. It always have been men leading, and when the numbers dip and the women start taking over for the voting in the higher numbers, in the higher bracket, you got to ask yourself, why is this happening? It's not because we're being lazy. It's not because we don't trust the system. We don't, but we still try anyway. It's not that. Instead of you coming down here talking down and scolding, you need to sit down and ask what's going on. What's going on the ground? No, you're too busy over there at Martha's Vineyard, champagne and caviaring it up. When the last time you been? When the last time you came to New York? When the last time you been to the Bronx? Have you ever? I don't even think you even been to the Bronx when you went to school down here, man.
There's no such thing as a vote that doesn't matter. It all matters. And after we have achieved historic turnout in 2008 and 2012, especially in the African American community, I will consider it a personal insult. An insult to my legacy.
Who the fuck you think you talking to?
Stupid ass house nigga.
Who is this nigga? That's how I feel listening to this, man. Like, I want to respect you, but I can't. We're not your little niggas. Like, for real, all that big homie stuff, that's for little niggas. Little niggas have big homies. We're not little niggas, so we don't even respect big homies.
Especially after we done had some historic numbers in 2008. I consider the insult. This ain't 2008, bruh. All right, so we're going to stop right there. There's no such thing as a vote that doesn't matter. It matters. It matters. And I agree with you, Obama. I do. That's why some of them not going to give it to you. Because it matters to you. It matters to Trump. It matters to you people who pushing. It matters to you. Oftentimes it don't matter to us because we could put you in and we don't get no reciprocation for it. Now look, again, he been saying this 7 years ago. I'm not even really going, we'll go back to the tape he did last week. This was 7 years ago he was talking like that. The same talking point. It's an insult. We had historic numbers in 2008. You had it in 2012, but it dipped. You know why? Because your first 2 years, you didn't go gung-ho. Man, you the first black president. You're not foundational black. You don't have no roots and ties into this country. What we assume you did. We just figured you want us. We didn't look at you as a tether. We didn't look at you as someone who cosplay as one of us, but at the same time undermine us. That's what a tether is. You act like you one of the brothers, but you don't do nothing for the brothers. You do everything else for everybody else but the brothers. And when the brothers start stepping up, you want to tell us to calm our behind down. Sit down and shut up and just do what I tell you to do, and giving you nothing. I ain't just gonna do something for black people now. I consider it insult. We had these historic numbers in 2008, and I expect Hillary Clinton to get the same thing. You expect Hillary Clinton to get the same historic numbers as you, man? Are you freaking kidding? And you expect Kamala Harris to get the same historic numbers as you got? You are a pariah, a once in a lifetime opportunity, because you came from organizing. You didn't come from prosecuting. You didn't come from being an attorney general, a district attorney general that was very instrumental in putting black people. You were not instrumental in locking people up. You did not take the crime bill and perfect it to the point that you got recognition. I mean, the crime bill was already overboard. Like I said, it was needed. The crime bill was needed. We needed the crime bill, but it was too open for overreach. It was too open for abuse. It was too open for false imprisonment and for the opportunity to get free labor out of black people. Yeah, some brown people too, but you know me, I'm gonna stick on the black. You didn't have that. You were a law professor, constitutional law, head of the Journal, head of the news reporter. You worked as a community organizer in Chicago. You went to Jeremiah Wright, a down brother church. Sad that you kind of kicked him to the curb instead of embracing him. You shunned Jeremiah Wright. You shunned Farrakhan. These guys were instrumental in you getting to where you were in politics. Not Jesse Jackson. It was Farrakhan and Jeremiah Wright, two religious brothers that helped you get your recognition in the community, that got you to the Senate. So you were different, man. Hillary Clinton ain't got that. So her numbers weren't going to be like yours, but you're going to get pissed off at black people? Yet, it was black people that overwhelmingly voted for her. Men and women were the top two voters for her. And she still lost because your focus is on the wrong people, man. First of all, if you had a record of doing for black people, those numbers could be 100%. But you got other people that you need to be talking to, bro. Not black men, not black women. Well, I can't fathom you going over to Trump. Yeah, just you're gonna have to stop trying to. They going. And ain't nothing you can do about it. And the more you be like this, the more you're going to drive people over there. Or you're going to drive people to go vote third party. That's what you did to me in 2012. I know this long, guys.
If this community lets down its guard and fails to activate itself,
Let me go back.
Select a candidate.
Same old talk.
There is one candidate who will advance those things. And there is another candidate defining principle. The central theme of his candidate is opposition.
That's because the man don't like you. It ain't got nothing to do with us. The man don't like you. Now he may be kind of antagonistic to those who like you, but the man don't like you. All this stuff was about you. It wasn't really about the people. And even then, put it on the opposite end. Everything concerning your legacy is about you and your legacy. Your legacy should have been the people. Your legacy should be able to say, I did all these things for black people. Black people put me here. Black people got me the second term. And this is my thank you note to the black community. I did this for them. I've got this for him. I've done that for him as a thank you note. Well, Rob, you know, he had an opposition party that got in the way. This Negro had 2 years of full power. He should have went gung-ho for his people. Because you only get one shot. You only can make a first impression, right? And his first impression to the black community was, my first 2 years, I got you and only you. Everybody else can wait. My first 2 years, I got you covered. Second 2 years, I take care of everybody else. The first 2 years, I got you. And that should be every person that run for office. The first 2 years, I'm going to be focused on you, black community, because you the one came out. And that would encourage other people to want to step up their game to vote for you because they seen what you did for the highest demographic that put you in office. They see the tangible results. They see it. Right now, they don't see nothing. That's why your numbers are low. It was low for Hillary Clinton. It only ticked up for Joe Biden. Even then, I still don't believe Joe Biden was that high up in numbers, man. Yeah, I hate to say it, but I'm really fishy about that too. It ain't just Trump. You know why I can say that? Because I worked on the inside and I know how these ballots work. I still can't believe Joe Biden beat Trump. I mean, Joe Biden? Joe, come on. Even then, black people put him over. Got your back, black people. I see you. I hear you. I got your back.
And especially for those moments when this campaign was at its lowest ebb, the African-American community stood up again for me. You've always had my back, and I'll have yours.
First 2 years didn't do nothing. He had, I think the first year or something like that, he had some power. And he had a relationship with Mitch McConnell and all those guys. Something, they're more open to work with another white man that they have a long-term relationship than this black man who just came out of nowhere. Joe Biden and the Congress got in 3 days a crime bill for Asians. 3 days. But Joe Biden couldn't take his first 2 years and go all out for the black community who put him in that position. And see, this keep going on and on and on, and you worrying why your turnout keeps getting lower and lower and lower every freaking year. It's the deny and neglect policy that you got for the people who put you in office, and you got the nerves to come out here and down talk them, to sun them, to popple them up. Well, failed to activate herself in the election. This woman was so pompous, so high and mighty. I'm winning. I'm winning. You don't ever say that in a campaign until you actually won. I'm winning. I'm winning. I beat Bernie. No, you cheated and rigged against Bernie, and Bernie didn't have the balls enough to challenge you and come at you concerning that. He's a go along, get along. He's a yes boy. That's why I don't like him no more. I fell for the Bernie crap, and he should have been like, see, Trump said, look, y'all Republicans plan on doing this to me? Guess what? You reneged on our agreement. I made an agreement that I would not run independent. I will run in the Republican Party long as thing is fair and square. But I'm telling you, if I found some funny stuff, some fishy stuff, I'm going to run third party and I'm going to cut y'all doggone votes and the Democrats going to win. Which was his plan anyway, because Trump was a Democrat and he was friends with the Clintons. It was Bill Clinton, according to the WikiLeaks, that told Trump to run to give Hillary Clinton the advantage. Told him to run and be the most arrogant, pompous. These are in the WikiLeaks letters and that they got from the DNC headquarters. Told him to be the most pompous, arrogant jerk that he can be to lose. Trump didn't expect to win. That's why when he came back, go back and look at them videos. When he came back, he was like, oh, snap. I won? I wasn't trying to win nothing. These Negroes actually, what? I won. And that's why Hillary Clinton is so bitter, because her good friend of 40 years was supposed to lose this election against her, yet he won. Not Trump's fault. People just like Trump. They like that attitude. They like that New York brash stuff with Trump. Some people do. That's why, hey, that got him in the office over Hillary Clinton. They liked him more than her. Just, let me put it this way. Trump was like, oh, I wasn't trying to win this thing. And he probably told her, look, I wasn't trying to win this thing. I'm sorry. I didn't expect this. I was trying to get you a landslide win. I thought by me being a jerk to the highest core, people would not like me, they would hate me, and vote for you in massive numbers, and you will win it all in every state. Didn't happen that way. So Obama, let me finish. It's all about his legacy. It's all about his image, and he considered an insult. So how is that insult tasting in your mouth because your candidate, the one that you were pushing, did not win? So how is that defeat in your mouth, Obama? And did you review and reset why you lost? No, you automatically blame black men. It's them black Negroes, especially them heterosexual males. I can't stand them alpha male, I love me some beta heterosexual males, or I love me some homosexual males. They get out the vote for me with no problem. It's them doggone beta males. It's those doggone black alpha males. I can't stand them. They're too much like my father. Them anti-simp, I can't stand them. It's the simp. The simp love me. You notice, and I'm going to show this on a video sometime this week. You notice that Kamala Harris is going to do interviews with a bunch of black simp men. She's not going to the strong heterosexual, dominant men, because she don't like to be around them. They make her uncomfortable. Her dad, Donald Lawrence. Well, I keep saying Donald Lawrence. Her dad, Donald Harris, seems to be alpha male. A black heterosexual alpha male is what they fear in this country. I don't know why. Because we're the real leaders and we're the real decision makers, and no matter what goes on, we're ordained by on high to be the leaders of just about everything. Yes, we are open to let women run things and be in charge of things, but there's a thing different between being in charge and being a leader. You can be a manager, you can be a CEO, but that don't make you the leader of the organization. If you read John Maxwell's book, John Maxwell talks about Claude. John Maxwell was the pastor of the church. He was the head of the church. He was he was the figurehead of the church, but it was Claude that was the true leaders. He the one that could motivate and inspire people to do anything. If it wasn't for Claude, he wouldn't have got accepted into that church. That's how powerful a real leader is. Leadership isn't about management positions. It's not about position. It's who you are. You don't have to hold a position to lead. And too many politicians think they're leaders when they're just managers. See, a leader don't go around berating. He don't go around dumping. That's why a lot of coaches, you got some coaches that can lead their team to victory, and there's coaches can lead their team to through a paper clip. They're the coach, but they're not leaders. The Dallas Cowboy coach, you had Jimmy Johnson, that was a leader. Bear Switzer come in there and he's a coach. Couldn't lead nobody through a paper sack. Dallas go downhill because they got rid of their leaders, and Dallas ain't been worth 2 cents since then. Can't stand them. And that's how it is. The Democratic Party keep putting people who hold positions. They don't have no real leaders. They think they're leaders, but they're not. Kamala Harris is not a leader. That's why she's losing. Barack Obama was a leader, and he figured that leadership can continue to go on through all these decades. No, we got two new generations since you, I believe. Two that became adults. We got new young people that are adults. They're not hearing you, man. You're not a leader to them. They get their leadership from the streets, and you talking to them ain't going. Anyway, let me finish. All right, so I'm done with that video. And, the whole point of the video is, look, I consider it an insult. We had historic turnouts in 2008 and 2012. Why can't we get them right now? I gave you a possibility of the first woman president who has been here doing things, showing who she really is. Why you won't get out? Dude, she called me a super predator. She was responsible for signing, her and her husband came up with that bill that got my daddy locked up. He's still in jail. Oh, something stupid. You want me to vote for her? No. She called these people deplorable. She rigged her own elections. She went around thinking that she had this sold up, which makes me think she knew it was sold up because they had it sold up for her. WikiLeaks came out and exposed the whole thing, and you expect me to still vote for her? That's why she didn't win. Then fast forward, you got a prosecutor who was antagonist toward black women in California, antagonist toward black men in California, who was sold out to the private prison system, was working her way through the ladder, wanted to be governor, had this bougie relationship with Arnold Schwarzenegger, had this bougie relationship with Sherrod Brown. We know about her relationship with Slick Willie. How she climbed up the ladder, questionable. If it weren't for Willie Brown, she wouldn't have never got those positions that she held. She was always on Team Willie Brown. And if you're on Team Willie Brown, you good. And that's what I like. I like that about Willie Brown. You on Team Willie, you're going to be taken care of. Gavin Newsom, Nancy Pelosi, all them guys was on Team Willie Brown. Because Team Willie Brown was on team, like I said, I'm going to tell you that story about that cult of personality in San Francisco between Dianne Feinstein, Harvey Milk, Willie Brown, and Jim Jones, the cult leader. I'm talking about that. All of them, tight-knit. So Willie Brown began to develop his own loyal crew. And as he went up, you went up. I get a job, I get elected, I'm gonna make sure you guys get jobs, man. Willie was a leader. That's why he got elected over and over again. No six. So Barack Obama been talking the same talk, always talking this talk. He's never graceful. He's never talking to you. Oh, remember this? We're still talking about on how he's saying that this man is denigrating you. And you're going to go support him? First of all, nobody said they were supporting Trump. Well, you are if you're not going to support him. Because stop that lie. Stop with that foolishness. I ain't got to support neither one of y'all. And stop with this ghetto mind trick of if you don't support her, you support him. That's BS, man. But remember this, Joe Biden?
So if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
What did you say, nigga?
That was an insult. And I was put that insult out there too. I would have it. This dude say you ain't black if you don't support him. If you support me, you ain't black. If you don't support me, you ain't black. He said if you don't vote for him or support him, you ain't black. So in other words, if you're not on a Democrat, you're not real black. You're not black. And then I got to hear people I know sit there and say he's right. Why would you sit there and side with that white supremacist man and his white supremacist talking point? Who the hell is he to tell me whether I'm black or not? I was black before you even got that position that you're in right now. I was black before you ran for the Delaware State Senate. I was black. I was black when you became the U.S. representative for Delaware in the Senate. And I was black when you were vice president. My blackness ain't got nothing to do with you, dude. You talking about Donald Trump denigrating us. I never seen him say these things to us, that you ain't black if you don't vote for me. I heard him say this, what the hell you got to lose? If you don't vote for me, what the hell you got to lose? Because everything I'm seeing in these inner cities, it's a hellhole out there. I ain't never seen it this way before. It's a hellhole I'm seeing in these inner cities. You need Trump to stop it. That's how he talk. You need Trump to stop. Trump, you can't stop nothing. You could try to clean up a plan, but most of that stuff is going to be done by the state, man. You can't federally legislate what goes on in the state, man. That's civic 101. And you know this. That's why you put abortion to the states. Because there's certain things that the federal government cannot do. They cannot upsert the state in. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. You talking about undermining, insulting. Man, that's the biggest. I'd rather you call me the N-word than tell me I'm not black. If I don't like you, I'm not black. That's a controlling statement. That is witchcraft. That's witchcraft talk. You trying to cast a spell on me. You trying to make me think, well, I am black, so I guess I better vote for Joe Biden because I'm black. And then you got people that are in the cult will come to you and tell you, well, he right. You ain't black if you don't vote for our cult leader. Man, if you don't go somewhere with that stuff, I'm black and I'm not voting for him. How about that? I'm black, I might vote for the other guy and I'm still black. How about that? Or I may not vote for neither one of them. I might vote for 35. It ain't got nothing to do with me voting. I was black. They can throw away the whole voting ability and we can go into a monarchy and we can elect a king like they claim Trump gonna do if he win. We can have a king in the United States. Guess what? Still black. So the hell with you for saying that. And what a spit on me and my people that, oh, if all us don't fall in line with voting for you, Joe, we ain't real black people. So Obama, you can sit there and say that this man denigrate us at every turn, but you guys do it too. You're doing it right now. So stick the bird chest in, man. Stop with the pointing the finger and not looking at yourself. One of the things I try to do, because I'm not perfect. I know I got faults, got a whole lot of them, but I can't go address somebody in their fault when I'm doing the same thing. It's certain things I like. I can't sit there and tell somebody to stop doing that and I'm doing it more than they do it. Get out of here. Boy, yep. If you don't know whether to vote for me or Trump, you ain't black. What kind of, boy, and boy, y'all Negroes, boy, that proves that you're in the cult. If you said that yourself, oh, that's right, he's right, you're in the cult. You're brainwashed. Anything that the cult leader tell you, you say that's right. You won't challenge the cult. That's what they do in the cult. They will not challenge the philosophy of the cult leader. And if you start challenging the philosophy, the cult leader members, the ones in the pews, the ones sitting next to you, gonna get on you. That's why you don't join no cult. You ain't black.
And you're thinking about sitting out?
Yes.
Your approach on trying to get somebody to get out and vote is backwards, man. Condescending, shaming, calling me stupid, dumb. You're not saying that up front, but you're implying that, and you're going to sit out. Bad enough, you're going to look here. I'm not talking to ones that's going to be dumb enough, idiotically enough to go vote for Trump. I'm talking to you. You're going to sit this one out?
Yes.
I can't have that. I can't have it. Well, of course, you're talking to Harrison Waltz volunteers. They're not going to sit it out. You know why? Because they work for Harris Waltz. They're not going to sit it out. So you can rest assured, Obama, that the guys that you're standing around, that you're down talking, they're going to vote for you. But we know you're not really down talking them, and they're not taking this as a down talk because their minds are made up. They're voting for her. But you're trying to send a subliminal message to those people outside these walls at the Harris Walls campaign, to the black brothers, as you say, to the brothers. The numbers are particularly low. The numbers are particularly low with the brothers. I can't have that. That's irresponsible. How so? I don't know, but I got democracy on the ballot. Kamala Harris got it too. The lady wants to pass a law right aside Gavin Newsom to allow my child who's probably in a phase of, for some odd reason, wearing his big sister dresses. I don't know why. I need to have a talk with him and set him straight. You can't do that. We're going to pass laws. We can't do that. If he wants to be a girl, we're going to start him down the transitioning real early to be a girl. We're going to give him some puberty blockers. We're going to shrivel him up, and we're going to give him some hormones, and we're going to film him up, and we're going to make him look like a girl. Now, you got a problem with that? Hell yeah, I got a problem with that. That alone make me say I'm not voting for you. But democracy is on about. That is not democracy. You trying to take over being a parent for my child. Man, I'll hurt somebody over my child. The hell I will let y'all do that. I will take my child out of your school. No, you won't. We'll provide a penalty and punishment if your child don't go to this school in this district. No, I'm homeschooling my child. And I'm sorry, but the other guy, the guy that's anti-democracy, got in his policies that if you don't want your child to go to a public school and you want them to go to a different school, a community school, or a school at church or whatever, or a school at home, you can do that. So guess what? Not only am I not going to vote for you, you're tempting me to go vote for the other guy because in his policy, he has a freedom of choice for schooling for my child. I don't want no trans coming into my child's school reading books about sexuality in a cartoon form. I don't want that. Well, Hey, we got to move forward thinking. We have to be inclusive, and we have to start being inclusive from as early as we can get. No, let these kids be kids, have fun, do what they do, get their education. When they get older, then you let them make that choice. But these kids can't even fix a sandwich right, and you telling them they can make a choice to become something, man. But I'm telling you, these are the things that people hear, and you're not sitting and asking them why they're not voting for you so they can tell you, bruh, I voted for you in 2008. What is the deal with Hollywood and the Democrats' relationship? And why is Hollywood pretty much funding the Democratic Party? And why is the Hollywood elites have the power to move people out of positions like George Clooney and the rest of your buddies? Y'all work together to move Joe Biden out of that position and put Kamala there. And you talking about undemocratic. Nobody voted for her. They voted for him. She just happened to be on the ticket. If she was to run at the beginning of this thing, she wouldn't have had a chance. And the people who were running in the Democratic Party, Marianne Williamson, Robert F. Kennedy, you undermined them. You're thinking about not voting? Bruh, either I'm not going to vote and vote for the other guy, but I damn sure ain't voting for you because of what you proposing to do now and proposing to do in the future. Why do the boys got tampons in their bathroom? Why is this guy promoting tampons in the men's bathroom? Well, look here, and why is it free for them, but the girls, they got to pay $3 for a tampon? And why are we talking about tampons in school? My daughter, if she needs some tampons, I go get her a whole box, she put it in her pocketbook. Why are we trying to get funding to put tampons not just in the girls' bathroom, but the boys' bathroom? Why is that, Obama? Why is that, Kamala? Well, we're not going back. We're going forward. We're not going back to the days where you get to continue to be the parent of your child and you get to hold their decisions. And we don't want you teaching them how to be the man. Girl, I die before I let y'all tell me I can teach my sons how to be men. I'm not teaching them how to be women. And if I catch somebody trying to teach them how to be a woman, they're going to catch a beat down. So if you want to call me conservative, I'll be conservative. Look here, what's your name? Buck. Look here, Buck. We got to be logical here. We got to move a new way forward. And Kamala is. She knows you. She went to school with you. No, she didn't. Stop lying. These are the reason why your numbers are dipping in the black males category. And this is the reason why the women numbers are starting to dip. Because usually when you got an alpha male, heterosexual, strong male that's saying, I'm going forward with my family, I see the direction we need to go, I'm the leader, we're going this way, the women sooner or later are going to follow suit. And you know this, and that's why you're agitated. Because this threatens your agenda, especially when it comes to black men. Now, again, I say there's other communities you could be talking to, but they want to always rely on old faithful black people, but don't want to support old faithful black people with tangibles.
Cousin Pookie might be.
See, anytime somebody starts talking about Cousin Pookie, that has become a white supremacist slang right now. Oh, look, we got Cousin Pookie. I ain't got no cousin named Pookie. I got a cousin named Ray Ray, but I ain't got no cousin named Pookie. For Barack Obama to always denigrate, look, Cousin Pookie ain't gonna vote. Cousin Pookie may be the main one to go vote for y'all. Don't be dissing Cousin Pookie like that. Look, you gonna sit it out? Yeah, all right. I know you're not gonna sit it out, but your cousin Pookie probably will. Go talk to him. Hey, go ahead with that Pookie mess, man.
And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that. Because
So he said, you're coming up with every reason and excuses? I got a problem with that. Have you ever sat down with us to tell you those reasons? Most black men are not coming up with no excuses. And whatever you call excuses could be real reasons. And who the hell are you to say, I got a problem with that? Negro, you don't run nothing over here. You don't run nothing over here. It's like me. I don't want, where I figure I got some power in, I stand in that power. Where I know I don't have no power, I don't sit there and try to act like I got power. Where I know I don't run nothing there, I know I don't run in there, and I stay in my place. Negro, you don't run black people. First of all, you're tethered. You cosplay as a foundational black American a whole lot. You sing the Al Green songs and all that kind of stuff. You don't have no link to our legacy. You don't have no roots to the foundational black Americans. Now, you just like... you were born in America because your dad is from Kenya. He had no roots here. And you don't even have no roots there where he at. You're like Kamala Harris, visited every now and then and he came back to the United States. My family been here since the jump. My family go way back to 1625, brother, in this country. One side black Native American Indian. What about yours? I'm a real American. My bloodline is real. My bloodline goes to the foundation. It precursors the foundation of this country. What about yours? And you think you can come in here when your daddy came here to go to get an education here. Your mama was already here to get an education. You got born or spawned out of that particular union, and you went through the same path, went through good school, highly educated man, very smart, but you think just because you got all that you can point the finger and down talk? I got a problem with that. You're making excuses. I got a problem with that. Negro, you ain't my daddy, and I don't live with you, daddy. I got a problem with that, son. I mean, you got all B's. I got a problem with that. I need you to get some A's. I don't need you to catch A's. I need you to get some A's. These B's are not good enough. I got a problem with that. Dad, you better take these B's and go on. You realize how hard I had to work to get these B's? Work harder. Bring me some straight A's.
Nigga, please.
Negro, you know, boy, did you have straight A's? No. Then carry on, sir. Carry on. I got a problem with that. See, he won't sit down and let us talk to him and tell him why we like that and why we're going to be like that. But since you won't sit down, we got a loud message to send you and you're hearing it loud and clear. You ain't got no black agenda. And the one that we have, you've been blowing off. We want reparations for Foundational Black America. And a lot of those numbers that you're not getting are fed up foundational black Americans. We standing on business. You have yet to give us a hate crime bill. Matter of fact, you backed the blue. You backed the blue more than Trump backed the blue. On your watch, there were so many black murders. On your watch. Not Trump watch. On yours. While I can get on Trump on a million things, we got to deal with you because you're the closest to us. Because you are the same color as us. It says skin folks are not always kin folks. Boy, know it here. We have excuses, valid excuses and valid reasons. And whether you have a problem with it or not, as Rick Fell said,
Whether you like it or don't like it, sit down and look at it because it's the best going today. Woo!
you better like it or love it, but it's the best thing going on today. You got to blame yourself. You got to blame you, Obama, for the dip in support from black men and soon to be black women. When you get in that office, you're supposed to go all out for the people who put you there. You don't deny and neglect and assume that they're going to always be there to continue to support. You need to make it legendary. You need to encourage other people to vote in high numbers because, look, you vote in high numbers, I got your back. Not to stab it.
As part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president.
And that's your idiotic ignorance. And that's your assumption. You're doing whatever you can to make these ladies feel good. And that's not the reason why black men not feeling it. See, there was a young lady that I would have supported if she ran for office, even though she had a dog chance in there. I voted for Jill Stein because I thought Jill Stein was the better choice. A white woman, but her policies were stellar. A lot of you have stolen her policies. They implemented in the party to not do it. You stole it to get votes, knowing that you're not going to do it. But I supported her in 2012 because of what you did and what she proposed to do. And I gave her a shot in hell because of her policies. So you can't say that. Stacey Abrams broke her back to get y'all win, and you dissed her by telling Joe to go with Kamala because Kamala is maybe the coming of a female Obama. No, Stacey Abrams was your ticket. You didn't even give her the DNC chair position. You gave it to Jamie Harrison. And you got the nerves to point the finger at us and telling us we not feeling black women? We didn't ask for a black VP in the first place. But if you did have one, make sure she did. She get it because she earned it. Nothing for her. What is she doing now? Nothing for her. You're preparing her to be governor again? She should have been a VP. She should have been. We didn't ask for Taraji Brown. That's not tangible for us. She don't help the black community. We see where Kamala, their allegiance lies within their husband. Let me tell you something. They're not gonna put their husband at stake for little old me. And both of them look like simps, beta males. That's some weird stuff right there, man. How the hell you can say we're not feeling the woman? Well, look, you didn't support Hillary because the lady was horrible. Her record was horrible. Her stance on certain things were horrible. Her arrogance were horrible. Her entitlement was horrible. Her thinking toward black kids and black men is horrible. Her looking down on us was horrible. And there's a young lady that if she would have, I'm going to show her in a minute, if she would have ran for office, she would have had my vote too. Nina Turner. So I dare you say that.
Coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that.
And if they did, so what? If a fool want to not vote for somebody because they're a woman, which is foolish, that's their prerogative. Dude, you getting upset for something you can't control. Look at it. Look at him. Look at him. You know what a narcissist is? Everybody look at Trump and say Trump is a narcissist, and he is. This dude is a narcissist. He's trying to control the uncontrollable. He's falling off his rafters right now. Bad enough, he manipulated that thing to get Joe out, his good buddy Joe, get him out and put Kamala Harris in, because if he figured that if I didn't get Joe is going to mess up the entire down ballot. We got a slate under Joe that need to get elected, and he's supposed to lead that slate. And right now, it don't look too good because, Joe, I got to take the keys, buddy. I got to ask you to step down. I'm not stepping down. I got this. I know I had a horrible night, but I got this. Nope. You're going to step down. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you, you're going to step down. Well, what are you going to do? Make me. Oh, we're going to make you. I'm going to have Hollywood drop all that money. I'm going to have corporate America drop all your money. We're going to put it in Kamala Harris campaign. Oh, yeah, it's done. So is that democracy? So you got this female woman. You're the one trying to push the female thing on us. And when we reject it, you get mad. And a lot of us are rejecting because of qualification. A lot of us rejecting because of the record. A lot of us are rejecting because she just ain't it. She ain't you. She not even Joe. She don't have no respect in the world community, and she not gonna get it. At least Hillary Clinton got respect in the world community because she went out there and got it early. See, right now, Pooh know who Hillary Clinton is. All the world leaders know who Hillary Clinton. Don't know nothing about no Kamala Harris and don't care to know. She's a joke. And you wondering why the numbers are low.
And I think anybody you are talking to in a barbershop, anybody you are talking to in your house, in your family, at church, who is coming with that kind of attitude, I think you have to ask them, well, how can that be? Because the women in our lives have been getting our backs this entire time.
Well, first of all, the women who's gotten our back all this entire time is our parents. That lady ain't our parent. They're our grandmas. There's our auntie. They got our back because, number one, they're blood. Number two, they're actually one of us. Number three, we know the struggles that they actually went through. She ain't going through that. You ain't even going. They are our nurturers. They take care of us. She ain't never. She was antagonist. My mama, my auntie, none of them was antagonist. They didn't look for reasons to put us down and denigrate us and discipline. You're going to put this narrative, and he's trying to put a narrative as early. The reason Kamala Harris is not going to win is because black men don't want a black woman to be in charge. And that's a doggone lie, man. You're lying. Quite sure if your wife would have run, a lot of black men would support her because she's actually intelligent and knows her stuff. Now me, I wouldn't support her because it's all about the policies. If you don't support our policies, you talk about your policy, we got our own policies in the community and we need you to support them. If you're not going to take them up and support them and lead with that, why are you asking for my vote? Why are you asking for my support? How about you support me first, and then I in turn support you? And folks, that's the way it's going to have to get in the future. Even now, now's the time. How are you going to support us? See, we got things in our community that need to get done. I know you got all these plans for, but that's a plan for everybody. That ain't a plan for Black America. Even the plan that you just came up with yesterday is not a plan for Black America. It's cloaked with a cover of a plan for Black America, but it's really a plan for minorities. And the number one minority in America today are white women, especially feminists, which means we're going to very rarely get anything from these policies because we're at the totem pole. The immigrant coming into this country who are not even a citizen going to be able to get a house quicker than we do, get a car quicker than we do, get an education quicker than we do. But you're okay with that, and you want us to be okay with that, and we're not okay with that, and you're wondering why we're not supporting. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of black people going to support them, but there's some people saying, hey, no, somebody going to have to start, checking these people. I'm not giving you no more power, no more vote. This stops here. Now, we're tired of this sadomasochist abusive relationship. I'm not going to sit there and let you slap me and say, thank you, sir, I'll have another. You're not going to keep slapping me with insults and expect me to support you. The black sadomasochist relationship got to stop. Black people, stop being the sadomasochists to these people. We got a 50 Shades of Grey relationship with. We like the punishment. We like the pain. We've grown accustomed to it. It actually turns us on. And I'm like Kevin Hart, pineapples, nigga. Pineapples, man. You doing too much. Pineapple. How you gonna help these people over here with our tax dollars? Pineapples, man. Currently, right now in New York City, they propose to give the migrant workers $4,000. I wouldn't even call them migrant. I call them illegal. $4,000 to leave the shelter to go find their own apartment. And here I am, a working man, work overtime. I can't get none of that. Heck, can you give me at least enough money to put down on my own apartment so I can have enough money to pay the broker and to pay the first month rent and get the lights turned on and get a little furniture? Can you give me something? But no, $4,000 to the one migrant worker that's staying in a hotel that have no kids. We're going to give you $4,000. Now, if you are married with kids, we're going to give you $4,000. We're going to give your wife $4,000, and we're going to give you $2,000 for each kid. So they're coming out there with about 10 grand to go find an apartment, because 10 grand ain't going to get you no house around here unless you're doing Mitchell-Lama Co-op, blah, blah, blah. Our tax dollars. To me, that's equivalent. To me, I'm your spouse, and you say, baby, I need $5,000 for whatever, and you turn around and give it to another Negro. When you come home and I find out about that, when you come home, guess what? I'm looking at you just like Obama looking at these brothers right now. And you wonder why I'm packing up and leaving? You wonder why I'm chewing your behind out? You wonder why I'm holding everything in me not to smack your behind for doing something like that? Are you kidding? You know how hard I have worked to save up that little $5,000 on it, and I'm trying to do you a solid, and you're going to give it to some other Negro? Are you crazy?
They've been raising us and working and having our backs, and when we get in trouble...
Stop trying to put this woman in a position like she's my grandmother, like she's my mother. Look here, the reason you're not supporting her is because she's a woman. Which means you're against women. If you're not for her, you're against women in general. They've been taking care of us. They've been raising us. They've been changing our Pampers and blah, 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 blah. She ain't did that, man. Stop See, these are the things that's going to turn men off away from you. You're going to end up turning the simp men off. Now, when it comes to romance and love stuff, like I like to do a little simping too, sing a little song, blah, 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 you know, but most of the time I'm not, no. See, I got to tell look, I'm not coming to see you. No more. When the last time you came to see me? It's always me. When the last time you came to see me? I'm always going to your house. I'm always going to your function. I ask you to do something with me. I'm tired of can you just come over and we eat? No, I want to go do some stuff. Look, after a while, Shanice down the street, she like to do those things that I like to do. After a while, she'll say if she don't want to come, I'll go with you. And then I take her with you, all of a sudden I'm cheating on you. No, I'm not cheating on you. She just wasn't, she hanging with me. You don't want to come down here and spend no time with me. I'm always coming over there. This lady is not our mama, Obama. She's not our grandma. She's not none of that.
And the system's not working for us. They're the ones who are out there marching and protesting.
She ain't doing none of that.
And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You know, your mothers, your grandmothers out there, they're marching for you. They're going out there and get you out of jail if you get in trouble. And then, and all this stuff they're doing. And you're talking about sitting out or at least supporting. What my family got to do with this, man? You talking about this lady. Why are we not supporting this lady? Have you sat down and asked us why we're not supporting? You're assuming because we don't like women. And you're trying to make it seem like we don't like our grandmothers, our mothers. The reason you're not supporting Hillary Clinton because you hate women. You hate your mama. You hate your grandma. And the proof is because you won't vote for her. Man, if you don't take that psychological bull crap somewhere else. Folks, stop letting these totalitarian, fascist tactics into your mind. They do it on the right, they do it on the left. These are mind control games that cult groups play on you. Don't you talk against Jim Jones. If you don't support Jim Jones, that means you're working with the United States government. And we can't have nobody here in Jonestown working with the United States government. You're trying to sabotage what we're building here. You're not supporting her, meaning you have disregard for your mother. You hate your mother. You hate your nana. You hate your auntie. And the proof is because you're thinking about sitting this one out or you're voting for the other guy. Man, if you don't go somewhere with that foolishness, but folks will sit there and believe that. Look at how these people are so tuned in to everything he said. Now, Obama's smooth talker. You got to watch a guy like that. He's very convincing, very cunning, very sly. You got to watch that from all these. It's not just him. It's all these politicians. They're tricky. Many of them are tricky. Politics mean many bloodsuckers. Politics. And a lot of these politics, all these politicians come with politics. And this is a weird, sadistic psychoanalyst. He's psychoanalyzing these people and he's using reverse psychology on them and got you thinking, well, you need to go out here and talk to these men because right now they hating their mothers. They hating their auntie. She's a representation of them. And for them to neglect her and deny her is the same as them neglecting and denying their mother and their nana and all them. This is vicious, man. This is nasty work right here. Nasty work. It takes people like me and other people to sit here and go through this stuff to get you to see into this stuff. Nasty work. You think about sending this one out? Hell yeah. I don't like none of you. My name is Bennett and I ain't in it. Whatever harm that either one of y'all bring to this country is on you, Captain. It ain't on me. Well, you didn't vote for us, and the harm that Trump bringing to this country is on you. It ain't on me, because I didn't vote for him. I didn't give him no voting power, which means that I ain't in it, and my name is Bennett. I changed it. And the mess that she's going to bring, I ain't in it, because I didn't vote for her. Now, look, I don't know where they get this term. You know, you're going to sit it out. Very few people sits out elections. Most people go vote. They may not vote for the top of the ticket. They may vote third party because they consider voting third party sitting out. Now, he won't say vote third party here because he knows that's even a worse insult. He knows that. He knows it. But instead of him sitting down there asking for the real reason why brothers are not voting and why sisters are starting to follow the brothers, he'll get a good understanding. He knows it, but he's trying to deflect it. He'll rather talk about anything but the real needs of the black community because they're not going to address it. They want to get your vote without addressing those real needs. They'll probably say they're going to address it. They'll probably come up with some document paper or whatever saying, okay, we're going to address your vote. We're going to address your needs, so come vote for us. Negro, they ain't going to address that. They wait till we're less than 30 days to the election, and this woman finally came up with some kind of policy, and she labeled it for black men. And we never asked for policies for black men. We asked for policies for the black community. We said detach that. Don't put it with no all lives matter. Don't put it with no minorities. Don't put it with no black and brown. Oh, no, black, because it's black. That's going to get you either close to winning or winning because these other people ain't doing none of that stuff for you. But we're getting to a position where we're tired. We're tired. I know you're frustrated. I know you're tired. You are making me frustrated and tired. But I still need you to get out there and vote. No. You're the reason why I'm frustrated. You're the reason why I'm tired, because I'm tired of this deny and neglect. I need you to pay attention to me, not with just your words, but with strong action. See, when that woman sit there and say, look, I've been horny for the past 3 months. I'm going to talk plain with you. Every time I come home and I'm rubbing up on you, you talking about you tired. I tell you to take a day off. You got the vacation time. You got the day off. Take a couple of days with me. I need some affection. It's been 4 months. Now, God forbid, y'all don't ever, at least have 1 week where y'all clanging and banging, slanging and banging. At least have 1 day out of the week. You ain't got to do it every day, because if she trying to get it every day, boy, whew, set out 1 day a week. I mean, my vision for a family was, look, 1 weekend, it's just me. I don't want no wife around, I don't want no kids around. I want to do my thing. Second week, it's the kids. I don't want no wife around. Me and the kids having our personal time. The third weekend, it's my wife. The fourth week, it's all us together. But at the end of each one of these weeks, when them kids go to sleep, it's slanging and banging, clanging and banging, smacking and flipping and rubbing down. You have to have these strategies in place. And when it comes to political and taking care of your number one voting block to get you over, you got to take the quality time with them. You got to do things with them, and you got to do things for them, or you're going to lose them. They're going to start calling you an absentee father, a neglecting father. Daddy, I need to talk to you. I ain't got time, I'm tired. Daddy, I'm having a real issue. Go talk to your mama. Dad, it's a man thing. Call your Uncle Buck. That kid's going to get sour, and he going to stop messing with you. Black people getting sour, and that's why they stop messing with Democrats. I'm going to let this finish play out. I'm not going to stop it.
Who has a history of denigrating you?
Still talking about that.
Because you think that's a sign of strength? Because
you have a history of denigrating us.
Putting women down? That's not acceptable. That's not, this shouldn't even be a question.
He's frustrated.